Let's stick with the business theme. Nicholas Pointons joined me in the studio. Nicholas, Fonterra wasn't the only major company to put out its full result today. Tourism Holdings Limited. What did they let us all know about?
Yeah, this is the campervan rental and tourism operator. They own those popular brands like Brits and Maui. It's in the rental side of things, and also the company's Kiwi Experience and Discover Waitomo. So amid all this chaos caused by the pandemic, they've actually managed to post a full year profit. But I should caution that by saying that they effectively lost that final quarter. So 3 strong quarters, but it's that final quarter where they really took the big hit. So all up, its net profit after tax was down 5% on last year to $28 million. But you strip out all those big one-off costs and write-downs and the values of its business, it was a $20 million profit, which was down 28% on last year. Revenue down as well, but that's because they really suffered a lot with border closures, not just in New Zealand, but also abroad where they have businesses in Australia and in the US. The company did react quite quickly to the pandemic when it first sort of graced our shores. They looked to cut staff, they cut back on the salaries of its executive team, they also sought some rent relief, and they've also done some not strange things, but they've looked to sort of refocus the strategy of the business. So one thing that they've done is, in the past they've been a campervan rental business, but now they are a campervan dealer. They've been looking to reduce the size of its fleet globally, this is for rental vehicles, by a third. And they say that's had quite a successful effect. It's actually helped them pay back a lot of the debt it's taken out to cover some of the expenses during the pandemic. The future of this company, this is what we really want to pay attention to. We all kind of knew what it was going to look like when its full year result, and they say they're going to continue to sell RVs, and they're going to focus on domestic tourism. But the question remains is you can't really sell your fleet forever, and at the moment we have no idea when borders are going to open. So, but the interesting thing is, despite all this uncertainty about the future, its share price was up 10%. by about 21 cents to $2.35. So it probably shows how much I know.
Hey, we talked about yesterday mobile phone plans, right? And the Commerce Commission suggesting that the companies are overcharging people for plans that they don't need. So you had a chance to talk to the
Yes, I
telcos,
did. I did indeed, and it was I'm stoked to be able to get to this because it's a story that really interested me. So quickly, just recapping on yesterday. Commerce Commission, they published this open letter. They signal out the big telcos that Spark, Vodafone and 2 Degrees, and they say they did this big review and they found that of over 80,000 customers that it reviewed over a 12-month period, about a quarter were paying for plans that they weren't really maximising the value of, and it said to these telcos that they needed to really step in and make sure people were on the right plans. Well, I was able to put this question, or put the concerns raised by the Commission to the head of the Telecommunications Forum. So that's the big industry body that represents all these companies. And he, unsurprisingly, pushed back against many of the suggestions put forward by the Commerce Commission. First of all, he questioned the conclusions the Commission drew from the data. He says that, yes, all right, maybe there is a quarter of people that should be on different plans, but it also indicates that 3/4 of people are on the right plan. And he sort of took that as an opportunity to give the industry a bit of a pat on the back. He also says the Commission should be very cautious about making assumptions about the type of plans people are on. The example he used that was one of the most expensive mobile plans you can go on is one with unlimited mobile data. And for people who do that, they just like to have that flexibility, whether or not they should be on that plan. That's doesn't really matter. It's the fact that people pay to have that flexibility, that if they do want to go run wild and use lots and lots of data and stream Netflix on the bus ride home, they can. And the other thing he says was that he was saying that, look, the industry, they do welcome these calls for transparency and they're going to look to work with the Commission over this. But he did say that in terms of the health of the competition in the market, there's a lot of churn, and this is a term that we use to describe people who are leaving one company to join another. About 36% of the people in this survey, or this research that the Commerce Commission did, actually switched companies. And he used this as evidence that there's a lot of competition in the market. People are actively going out and reviewing what the best deals out there and choosing plans that really meet their needs. So, look, what we've seen from both the regulator and the industry is that they've both drawn these lines in the sand, and it's going to be really exciting to see what happens next.
Okay. Speaking about what's next, the markets.
Yeah. So the NZX Top 50, it's down by about 1.2% to 11,634. Our dollar is at 67.8 US cents, 92.7 Australian, 52.3 British pence, and gold is up about 0.5% to $1,952 US an ounce.